just now in studio. Govan, what happened there today?
Thanks, Clement. Well, the minister went on another visit to a power station. He's been called the Minister of Visits. It's all he's really done since being appointed. He says that these exercises haven't been fruitless. They're basically meant to inform a diagnostic report, which he's done about the state of the power stations. Remember, initially he went to visit and then he said that he doesn't believe what's happening there is because of corruption. It's just because of technical management. So he says that the cabinet agreed to delay the decommissioning of coal plants based on the diagnostic report that he had compiled, essentially kind of telling us what he's been doing and what the impactful nature of his work has been since being appointed, this while he awaits the powers that the president is supposed to give him. And today he said he expects those powers very soon. It's not the first time we heard that from him. But he tried to put all the focus on Kusile. It's because Kusile's shortfall is primarily responsible for us anticipating stage 8 this winter. And today we saw exactly what was wrong. They haven't yet started building these new temporary chimneys since that last one failed. Remember, they're seeking deviation from their license requirements, which essentially compels them to remove certain amounts of sulfur before emitting it into the air. But the spotlight is on the minister, firmly so. We know that it's stage 6, but the country's asking, what about his powers? And we hope to bring some reporting a little bit later on that. We have prepared an insert about what he said regarding Kusile and the construction of these temporary stacks. Let's take a look at what the minister had to say.
Kusile is particularly important because, as you all know, that there's 3 units that went off, Unit 1, 2, 3, and there's also Unit 5 that is offline. And those units collectively, if they were operating today, if you can imagine, they're each giving us about 800 megawatts. So you have about 3,200 megawatts. So essentially we're talking about 3 stages of load shedding. So Kusile is on the critical path in relation to the resolution of the load shedding problem in the country. And the last time I was here, management indicated that they will be bringing those 3 units back. The last one will be brought back by the 24th of December, and the first one of the 3 will be back by, I think, the 28th of November 2023, and the second one by the 11th of December, again, 2023. So we're here just to check progress.
But Govan, is it even possible for the minister to execute his responsibilities effectively and efficiently without the powers that he needs?
Well, the short answer is that he can't end load shedding without creating more electricity and essentially procuring emergency power. What the minister has done so far is set out the solutions that he believes are on the table. These include power ships, which he's a proponent of, and he says that they should be limited to a 5-year contract. But he doesn't have the power to procure emergency generation. He says that his ordinary powers are within the Public Finance Management Act, so the same as every other, all the other powers held by any government employee. But the big question here is, where's his budget and what is his responsibility vis-a-vis his powers? That's what's missing from the conversation, and it's something he still remains in consultation about.
Yeah, and I mean, he's told us that those powers are coming soon. The president has been promising that, and we haven't seen it as yet. Let's talk about when South Africans can say goodbye to load shedding. There are so many mixed messages from government. Gwede Mantashe says, well, if he focuses on his job, we can end load shedding by December. So did Fikile Mbalula, the ANC Secretary General. What is he saying? Because he understands what's technically possible. Is it possible to end it by December?
Based on what the executives at Eskom have told the electricity minister and what these power station managers are telling him, he says it's not possible to end load shedding by December. Instead, they're worried about being able to secure increased energy availability factors. So essentially what's happening is that Eskom has been told that they need to improve the amount of energy that they're generating from these power stations. What's happened in the last 3 months is that they've slightly decreased the amount of energy they're able to produce. So they're going in the opposite direction, according to Eskom's State of the System report. And based on that, Kgosientsho Ramokgopa, the electricity minister, says their most urgent priority is turning that around and starting to get on a steady, I suppose, pattern of increased energy availability in the country. That's what they're hoping to achieve. Their biggest responsibility is trying to avoid stage 8. It seems to be what they're squarely focusing on right now, and they haven't reached the point of believing that they're able to stop load shedding by the end of the year. If they did, then they would have to incur maybe 3-4 months without any unplanned outages at these power stations, with planned maintenance going perfectly. And we've seen with Eskom that they've not been able to do that, at least for the last 3 years. Let's take a look at what the Minister had to say again.
I'm on record that it doesn't look possible for us to end load shedding by the end of the year. And I provided the reason. So you're going to get close to around the 4 units that will come on stream. The 3, at least, they are going to give you about 2,400 megawatts. And then you add unit 2,400 megawatts, and then you add the unit 5 that will be fully on stream by April 2024. It's about 3,200 megawatts. And then there are issues on the demand side. Although we are very aggressive in relation to the geysers, like I said, we'll be going out public, going on the request for information, and then we've got those solution providers who are designing a facility to help us to finance that. We are not going to reach to 8 million geysers in a space of the next 6 months. I mean, to be realistic.
Oh, Govan, I was going to be naughty and ask, who is he visiting next? He was with the Zulu King the other day. He's been going to these, car manufacturing companies, Kusile, the other power stations. Did he say where he's going next?
He didn't say where he's going next, but we hope the next time we engage with the electricity minister, he'll have some powers that we can discuss.
Yeah, let's hope so, because that's the only way he will be able to execute those responsibilities. Govan Whittles, I appreciate your time.